Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. My hair is acting better today. It's not as ratty looking, not less humidity in the air, you know. I feel pretty good for only getting about 5 hours of sleep. I was up super late. I was on a CVS pharmacy site and oh, it's the first time I was on there, but Doug had gotten me some whitening toothpaste from them before, and it's just phenomenal. It's their brand. So I wanted to order some. So, oh man, they gave me the runaround. First, it was so busy and my order wouldn't go through, and they kept doing that to me, and it was horrible. But anyway, I finally got through. God, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. So then I was up till about 3, and then I got up around 8 o'clock, and I almost fell back asleep. But I thought if I do that, you know how when once you feel like you're sort of refreshed, but then you sleep more and you would have been just as good with less hours. That's how I was feeling. So I got up and I had fun. I made some homemade yogurt that we're gonna have tonight with sliced strawberries that have been macerated in honey. Let them sit. They're frozen, not already sliced, so just the easy way. But for yogurt, all you have to do is have a culture. And I haven't used buttermilk before, but I did today. I'll tell you if it turns out okay. I've made yogurt and you save a little bit, like in half a gallon of milk. It only takes a little dab of yogurt, like a teaspoon or a tablespoon of leftover yogurt from what you have. You just boil milk. You have to watch it so it doesn't scorch in the pan. Like constantly stirred until it gets bubbly boiled. Then set it aside till it gets lukewarm. You can stick your finger in it. When it's lukewarm, or room temperature, then you add your culture. Either some yogurt that you bought, like a little container, part of that, or what you had left over from before. So, and I've made cheese and stuff before too, so I'll let you know how it turned out, but it's really basically pretty easy. In India, they take, which I haven't done, but they take and then part of the process too, real quick, you set it, put it like a cloth to cover it, or make sure it has it's sitting in the dark room temperature also, but you don't want it to be like over 70 or 80 degrees. Like if it's 100-degree day, you'll just want to do that process and then put it in the refrigerator for overnight. Otherwise, if it's like basically kind of a decent day, or you're in your house isn't too hot, you just leave it for 6 to 12 hours and you'll get the consistency of the yogurt that you want. So super simple. But back to the not Native American Indians, but the Middle Eastern Indians take their milk that is room temperature, and they don't do anything else. They'll use these clay pots that have a top on it, or different um, containers or vessels, but they take a green chili and they just dunk it in there, and like a half a day later they have yogurt. you know the capsaicin, evidently the heat from the pepper or the chili, is what actually cultures the milk. Incredible, isn't it? And then you get the acid dulfices that you need for your good um, gut biome, you know. So, yeah, I think it's super interesting. So tonight, my supper is going to be yogurt. Well, first I'm going to have some sunflower seeds, and then I'm going to have yogurt. And it is whey protein, so it's not like it's going to be unhealthy at all. No sugar, just honey and natural sugar from the strawberries, but it's better than eating a lot of processed. And even I used to buy yogurts for my kids, and I was listening to one woman um last night. She was talking about she has two boys like I did, and I was buying also um one of them little yogurts for their breakfast, and they'd have other stuff with it, but every day they'd want one of them yogurts. And I was a working mom at that time, and I wasn't probably going I worked at one of my jobs. I worked almost 6 years in a high school kitchen. So coming home to cook or cooking before I went to work wasn't really something I was really into at those times in my life. When as soon as I got out of that and I went working with my emotional care skills as a paraprofessional for a sheriff's boys ranch. The girls were there during the day too, these emotionally disturbed teens. I loved working with them. They so reminded me of myself. Really. Um, Disturbed when I was that age. Big time. Yeah, big time. So I could totally relate with these little guys, little people. So yeah, I have my moments where the solitude gets to be a bit much, but then on the other hand, I mean, I could go out and physically congregate, and it's not that I can't make friends. I'm really good at talking. I mean, strangers tell me things I wish they wouldn't, that type of thing. In a parking lot, I'll be like somewhere and people will just start telling me things, you know, which is okay. It's okay. But, I'm really selective. So a lot of what feels seclusive, I'm doing to myself anyway. But it doesn't make it any easier because there's some of you out there that know where I'm coming from with that. Like our families and different things are we've had to distance ourselves from them just because because it's too hard on us. They're playing a game and we're not playing. It's a whole nother thing. Oh, I was listening to somebody, and I hope they're a friend of mine and not to offend, and I hope you see this as funny. But I heard the term in their video, overthinker. I wonder what type of brain the person that coined the term overthinking, I wonder what their brain is like. Is there any such thing as overthinking? I'm not so convinced that there is. I don't think it's a bad thing. Um, like a lot of practices are to meditate and like silence your mind and whatever. Are we sure that's the best way to go about all that? I think using my brain is pretty exquisite. I like it. So what if I can't go to sleep and I'm still thinking? I mean, yeah, it's hard when you're still going to a job. I agree with that part. But I mean, other than that, right now in my life, even if I was thinking all night long, I still have the luxury to be able to um, pace myself in my life. So I hope all of you get to that point where you can actually do that if you deserve it. If you don't, I don't hope that for you, but I gotta be honest. That's a killer thing, isn't it? Yeah. Well, bang, you know. Mm. I was watching another video. They were talking about how an actual hitman with a gun, was sent to take them out, and they didn't even flinch. It's like they seen some kind of force behind them. I had somebody stick a gun in my mouth, and I like to think of myself as the bravest person on the planet, you know. And I've had other people that were sent to destroy me, erase me, but it never works out for them. That, like I say, with the dark cabal, that's got to be really scary. Actually poisoning somebody and they figure out an antidote for themselves, or they already had the antidote, you know, or they had developed that through their life with their precognition, with their intuition and instincts, knowing, and visions, gifts. So, yeah. So that's what I was just thinking about. I mean, not really a topic, but just funny. Is there really such a thing as overthinking? And the people that think that there is such a thing, is it a bad thing? you know? And who coined that term? I want to know. At least when the um Khazarian fake Jews that are actually like either Slavic, German, Polish, Russian, the upper step, you know, at least we know with them that oh, what was I gonna say? Just a minute. Oh shoot. And then I lost it. Was a good joke too. I'll get back there. Because I go into explaining their migration. Just a minute here. Okay, I'll get back there. I don't know what got in between there. Something. I think the noise of the car. If there is some interruptions, I'll just work through it. Doug's out there working on some vehicles, so um, something about the Khazarian Jews and their heritage. Um, oh, I don't know. I might have to go back and see what I was talking about and then put it in the comments or, oh, no, or, yeah, and then I just about had it again. Boy, that's terrible. Okay, wait. I'll just talk about something else. And then if and I usually do get back there too, so, boy, that's totally losing it. I just lost it. Oh, shit. Anyway, it seemed important, but it was a joke, some kind of joke I had in there. Dang it. Oh, got it. I got it. It's when they coined at least the Khazarian Jews documented when they changed their language to either add vowels or take away vowels to coin terms in scriptures that weren't previously there. They and documented it for themselves. How dumb is that? I've got a video reading when they did all that too. A couple different ones telling people, what they actually did and why they did it to coin terms. Ugh. So I may not be able to find out who coined the term overthinking, but I can tell you who changed the text of the scriptures by coining terms that weren't previously there. Isn't that cool? There's my joke. Not too jokey, but some facts. And they can say what they want, but when you take from the original Greek Septuagint and change terms that weren't previously there, like you change a he into a she, or you take a they and make it into a dual gender, or different things that are totally taken out of context that change the entire situation that was written. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal, especially when they use it to deceive people, you know. So think I'll have a hit of my smoke with you. I've had 2 hits now already, but and then I was thinking, wow, if I told them that and I didn't remember what I was going to say, I'd really look like a pothead, I don't know if some of you know, but I did stop smoking for my kids, herb. I didn't smoke um like a lot of people in their teenage years, a few times here and there, and um a little bit as a young adult and a young parent, and um but after a while it was just like I got things to do and different places to apply that money, so I did that for like over a decade, well over a decade. And another time for about 10 years, I quit smoking. It's been about 8 or 9 years ago now. I got really sick and I decided to start smoking again. So, and it does help. There's a meme over on Facebook that states how nicotine helps guard against what they call a virus, and I've always known that anyway. But it shows this guy, he's got like 2 hands full of cigarettes and one sticking out of his mouth, and it says, now that we know nicotine guards against this, and he's got all this lit up in there. It's just funny. Yeah, I knew. I told Doug to start smoking again to guard against that. Yeah. And people will tell you, well, the carcinogens, you can detox and you can exercise and you can remain healthy through anything you ingest, or they try to force on you. Your body is capable of overriding all their bullshit entirely. It's mind over matter. And if you think about it hard enough, it's in the ether. Your answers will come to you, you know? Un momento, uno momento. And that I was just thinking about. My adopted dad was part Finnish, which is like from, they originate, well, the Chinese into Mongolian into Finliner. So if you didn't know, and it's really weird because the Finliners are really big on doing the tango. Isn't that weird as hell? So you got people that were actually Chinese in Finland doing the tango. But anyway, I do not account a little bit in Finnish. Iksi guksi nalamin viisi four. But anyway, it's kind of a strange language. So anyway, a lot of the Scandinavian languages are pretty easy to see a reflection in one another, like Swedish, German, uh, Norwegian, those types of things. You can see the connection. Not so much with Russian or Polish, not so much. That's pretty different. But then when you get like oh, the French language. Now Italian's not as hard for me as French because uh, the Latin languages and the Hispanic languages are a little easier for me. French has always been difficult for me. I can I can read it with a guide, you know, but but I just, it's one that it just doesn't really click with me, you know, because it's so dumb. You know, if some of my French friends are here, and I used to pay, spend a lot of time on a French Canadian channel, a friend that ah acquaintance, internet acquaintance. I used to spend some time on a channel, a couple different ones, but you know, I mean, I know like Parlez-vous français, Merci beaucoup, and you know, all those easy ones that are pretty common. You know, yeah. So anyway, I was just thinking, sit, just come and chat with you all, you know, and talk about that overthinking thing and tell you what I'm doing today. Just shooting the breeze, you know, what it's like to be what people would call targeted, but they're not really in that spiritual war. Not really. They just say they are. You know, they're just afraid to be that target. They want to pretend they actually faced that demon down, but they actually didn't do that. You know, they like to pretend, don't they? Well, I'm a target. I'm targeted. No, you've only said a couple things and people gave you the side eye and you backed down like you are. Quite frankly, that's most people. Uh, Maybe not if you're watching me. Most likely not if you have a backbone. You know, yeah, Doug got traded a baby Lincoln. It's a white one. It's a pretty car. I can't remember what year. It's something like 90s or like totally clean, nice looking vehicle for like, I can't remember what he traded it for. maybe a trailer or something. And this guy's also got like a load of wood, different things. He had some lumber and different things for whatever we traded for. I can't remember now. It's been last year, and Doug just picked the car up about a month ago, and he's been doing things like, oh, he's going to get a headliner for it, um, because that's sagged down from sitting, you know, and he was working on the door locks and probably gonna, oh, different. He does body work. He's a body man. He actually does metal fabrication and body work, painting. I used to own a body shop. We still do. But yeah, when I was 17, I built my own car, worked on everything, and so I'm a mechanic too. You know, that's but I do get sick of it. I'm not really a car guy, but I know more about it than most car guys. But yeah, not that I wanted to. I mean, it just happened. It's like becoming a contractor and a minister and all the weird things I've done. They just sort of happened. The only thing I really intentionally did, well, two things: going to nursing school and working in hospitals and nursing homes. That was intentional. And working, breaking horses and working on ranches and that type of thing. Those two occupations. Three. I did go to chef school and take business management and restaurant courses. Um, I did that at 15. I got a waiver from the state and went to technical college very early. Tested in and took my courses and had them ahead of me and was doing night school for my diploma. So, yeah, just trying to get out of the system early, you know, and to be able to make a living because I needed to get out of um, the abusive situation that I was in and what they intended for my life. The Masons, that was not what I was looking for in my life at all. Nothing like what they think and how they acted, and nothing to do with that. Now, there may be some honorable Freemasons out there. Eastern Star, you'll never convince me, being that they either want to contain the male or female energies or boff them. And the same with most Masons too. So, but anyway, entirely with the Eastern Star, they're either praising the female and portraying her as some dumb bitch, or they're doing the same thing with the male energy. And these organizations play these energies that are natural in people against each other and try and combine them into one. And that's where they work as a unit, even in their little groups. If they think differently, like one's a Blue Lodge and one's like Shriners or whoever, they're all uh, they're all a part of the same organization. There's a word for it. They're all. I'll get there too, just a minute. Uh, and there's so many of them. You know what I'm talking about too. But they're all, well, yeah, they're all a part of the compatriots, you know. But yeah, the Eastern Star witches, they're the worst of all of them. Because when you take something that's a precious female sacred energy and depict her as either um, just a sexual object or bisexual is what they do with both energies. So when you depict something and use energy that isn't yours to use, well, you're going to see what a reckoning is all I got to say. You don't fucking do that with integrity on this planet. And then pay dues to some lodges like you have rights over other people in the world and get away with crimes that you should have the death sentence for. You know, that those types of real things I'm actually talking about, you know. So, well, I'm going to get this uploaded. I hope y'all have a really good night or day wherever you're at. A wonderful weekend if you celebrate this holiday. Have a nice holiday. Resurrect yourself out of this fucking bullshit we've all been fed all our lives. And yeah, yeah. Love y'all. Thanks. Peace.